Hello, once again, people of the internet. Today, I want to just riff a bit about relaxation and the importance of rest when when we understand our health and how to restore our bodies. Something that is becoming increasingly clear to myself is how often we are conditioned to perceive health through action, through fitness, through doing stuff. Think that in order to be healthy, you have to be exercising rigorously all the time. And the more exercise you do, it's going to always be better for you. Now, of course, exercise is important. It's necessary to keep our bodies active and we're not sedentary, sitting down all day, which obviously affects our posture and isn't good really for your organs. We're designed to move around. But something I've noticed in myself is that, you know, when I've gone to this mode of exercising a lot and not really giving myself the time to rest and recover, because I'm, in many ways bullshitting myself because I enjoy the activity of exercise. I'm bullshitting myself that doing more of it is good. But I've noticed in myself, like, I've just reached a point where I've almost dissociated a bit from the chronic tension, stiffness in my body sometimes because of this incessant going. And so recently I've been taking time out to just focus on very slow stillness forms of exercise and really trying to engage the aspect of our health which depends upon not action but stillness, silence, and rest ultimately. And this has been really an opportunity for me to engage those aspects of our body's natural innate rejuvenation techniques. Pretty verbose way of putting it, but I've become very much reminded of the necessity of stillness, and the necessity of not falling into these patterns of excessive exercise, excessive frantic doing. And one thing I was noticing as well is that the way you exercise often will inform the flow of your mind. So if you exercise very rigorously to the point of near complete exhaustion, your mind will naturally have that kind of that grit, that agitated, like sort of taken home prisoners kind of attitude. Now, of course, this sort of form of exercise can be very good for instilling a sense of discipline into your mind to be able to push through a activity even though there are aspects of your body that are telling you to stop. Being able to sort of, by sheer force of will, do something that is very physically uncomfortable, there is a power to that. But when we exercise in this very rigorous way over and over again, it can almost dissociate us from our body's natural signals, which I think is something that happened to myself, where I had this idea of the right way to exercise is to push your body to physical exhaustion. Yes, that can be effective, but it's not the right way to exercise, full stop. Exercise is not an absolutist kind of thing. It's a lot of dogmatic sort of attitudes to, whether it's fitness or diet or how to take care of yourself, which is telling you that this is the one way for you to start your day, or the one food you have to eat, the one thing you have to do. Um, it really, I think people like these simple rules because it means they don't have to use their own intuition. They don't have to think and experience reality. They can just, apply some kind of rule, and it reduces the amount of, you know, cognitive load that is involved in being healthy. However, we reduce that cognitive load. We apply a convenient rule, but we're not actually learning how to be healthy from the inside in, from the inside out. We're taking a rule from the outside and we're applying it inwards. We're reading about health in a book or listening to what some person says, and then we just blindly apply it to our own life. Now, of course, I wouldn't say that, reading about health or exploring certain external sources are not useful activities, but we should not be excessively reliant upon them. Our health should be something that, from first principles, the first most fundamental thing you do is your body scanning. You're scanning your body, you're scanning your emotional body. What are you feeling? Are you feeling tight in your chest? Are there any aches and pains? What's the general, you know, holistic vibration of your entire system itself? People can have pain that is localized in a particular region of their body, or they can have a sense of what we may call chronic pain, or chronic stiffness or unpleasantness that is just dispersed through the body. Or maybe there's a kind of a knotting, a stuck sensation, or just anything really. And often we rarely do these sorts of body scans. We rarely review all the various sensations that are flowing throughout our body. But the first act with regards to health is not, you know, it's not, sort of going straight to a doctor. You have to just scan yourself and come to terms in your own conscious mind. What is it that I'm feeling here? What is it that is gripping my attention for this moment? And, many of our pains, they can sort of, they linger um, in our body, in our conscious field for a while before they reach the point where our consciousness notices them. This is if we're particularly unconscious. We will only notice a pain or a problem when it's already been developing and fermenting for a while. We don't see the problem as it's developing. In order to see the problem in its very subtle forms as it's developing, you need mindfulness. Mindfulness is this conscious relationship which is bringing into the foreground, into more clarity, everything in the background, I suppose. It's like if you imagine a cone, a tip of a cone, and our mind is at the very tip of it. But as we relax into meditation, we may find that the slopes start to come into view. So whilst initially we may only see the very tip, as we attend deeper to our body, it sort of expands out. And suddenly things at the base of this cone pyramid become more pronounced in your awareness, and you can witness it more. It's kind of like a map, a 420 pixel map that slowly gains more and more resolution. And I think simply the bringing of attention to the site of a trauma, whether you feel particular pain in your body or it's an emotional pain that is sort of kind of maybe in your chest, I suppose, a sense of tightness around the chest and heart area. Simply bringing your awareness to that place and giving it space to be experienced, allowing your body to feel what it feels. That sense of open acceptance is a naturally releasing and healing um, meditative exercise, I suppose you want to put it that way. Um, we can meditate for a variety of different reasons. And if we're meditating for the reason of healing, then having your attention move around, having your attention infused with this sense of visualized well-being and nourishment and health, bringing that peace to your body in a particular way can allow you to almost communicate with your body to tell it to relax. Okay. Because a lot of our chronic pain, chronic tension is the result of stress. And the stress has taken our body into a fight or flight response where it stiffens up. Chronic stress will stiffen your body repeatedly over and over. Chronic stress will repeatedly thrust your body into a tensed state, and this accumulates over time if we do not release it. To release this tension, you bring your awareness to that site and you actively communicate with an intention. You're not just bring your awareness there for the sake of it being there. But if you have an intention and you sort of marinate and express that intention of releasing, you can, build these neuro circuits, I suppose, of bodily communication. And it's kind of like how a musician, through repeated practice with that instrument, they gain proficiency and skill. A meditator who consistently meditates and attends to their body, they will develop greater proficiency. One day I will pronounce that word. And they'll be able to perceive more details within their own body. You see, we can inspect our body by inserting cameras into our mouths or our rectums, I suppose. You see inside, but you can also feel inside your body. And it's a beautiful thing, and a remarkably complex thing, but it's a very new thing for those who have never done it, I suppose. But it's there, your body is there. So do you dissociate from it or do you enter into it? I'll let you guys decide. Adios.